Did you know, for example, 32% of women believe it's possible to communicate with the dead? So don't bother trying to kill yourself, she'll still be rabbiting on. In the UK, trousers cause twice as many accidents as chainsaws, which is true. I've had a lot of accidents in my trousers. A female mackerel lays 500,000 eggs at any one time. Slag. And 9% of cat owners claim their cat had a say in their choice of partner, and that choice of partner was not to have one. Let's get started. Top household convenience drivers would like in their car.
How about replacing the electric windows with sash windows?
Yes. Lovely idea. That's nice. And having a window box on the bonnet.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Lots of
little
nice
flowers,
flowers.
yeah, grow your own.
Genius.
Yeah.
You know, like using your mobiles illegal. What about a landline?
That is thinking.
An ejector seat like the one I've got in my bedroom.
You've got an ejector seat in the bedroom.
Yeah, I say it'll be very nice, but off you go. But I reckon a fridge.
That's the right answer.
Fridge.
That's basically what an ice cream van is, though.
That is an ice cream van.
Well, you're saying it. What am I saying it?
Yes, the top household convenience drivers would like in their car is a fridge. You can get a car with a fridge and a TV and a sink. It's called a caravan, and if you buy one, he'll blow it up. OK, next one. Biggest cause of anger in Britain.
I tell you what winds me up. Oh, it makes me absolutely... You know when it's a windy day and it's raining and your umbrella ends up going like that?
Ooh.
Is it badly organised anger management classes?
Biggest cause of anger in Britain.
Is it the ratio of steak to kidney in most steak and kidney pies?
Yeah.
Very rarely do they get it right. You always go, oh, that's two kidneys. Or you go, where's the kidney? I didn't buy a steak pie. And then the wind picks up and your umbrella goes, and you go, what a day!
OK, so biggest cause of anger in Britain.
Is it when you're in a supermarket and you've bought loads of shopping and the woman says, do you want some bags? And you're like, what? You know, I've got clown's trousers, I'll just whack it in my pocket.
It's a very British thing.
Queuing. People jumping the queue.
Oh, I know.
Correct.
Oh, no, it's that.
Yes, the biggest cause of anger in Britain is queue jumping. Here's a tip. If you're in the supermarket and there's a massive queue and you've only got a few items, get to the back, no one cares. Did you know, for example, on average, it takes 12 weeks after starting to exercise to see measurable changes to your body? And that's according to the box my penis pump came in. Another couple of weeks. 20% of mothers return to work earlier than expected. Well, to be fair, babies are annoying. And 75% of Brits have tried to give up sugar. My girlfriend can't give up her sugar. Not when her sugar looks this good, baby. Right, let's get started. OK, fingers on buzzers. Ashling's team.
These are my favourites, which is like a gal's holiday.
Oh, they're like the
like
lads and the girls all going away together?
Yeah, I love that, just a gal's holiday. It's just really nice, because like you go out with your gals, then you stay out drinking every night for 7 nights until 7 a.m, fall in love with a local barman, then you fight with your friend, then you go out and you get some food, and then you get food poisoning, you end up in a foreign hospital where you can't speak the language, and then you almost miss your flight home, and then you come back to the office and like, oh, did you have a good relaxing holiday? And you're like, yeah, it was really relaxing. Like, I love a gal's holiday.
Not entirely selling it to me, but I made up some, you know, lads on tour, girls on tour T-shirts. I think you've... there you go. Give those to you.
Oh.
Got some for you as well. There you go.
Oh.
Gone for last leg over for you. Crack addict and Ryan Gaggs.
Ryan Gaggs.
Oh, this is nice. Posh nosh. Is that an instruction?
Natalie. Rob, what have you got? Let's go fucking gentle. Let's go fucking gentle. put them on, stick them on. That's the front, obviously.
so cute.
I'm a bit
Your
worried
face
about
on
messing up
front.
my hair.
Where is it?
It's around my anus.
Is it bleach blonde?
No, I went brunette. Jimmy Carr, I said.
So, have you been on any girls' holidays?
I had a couple of girls' holidays. No, my niece turned 21 and we went to Ibiza. And it all sounds great. Sun, sand, sea. But I think I'm allergic to those three things. And when I go away, my legs... It's a thing called elephantitis.
I've
Has anyone
got that.
heard of this? Heard it?
Yeah, I haven't got it in my legs, but... One nut.
So anyway, I just look shit. I'm sunburnt and I'm hot and I get drunk really quickly.
What's your level? Like, what can you drink before you're like, I'm
Well, it's very interesting. As I get older, I go from being absolutely fine, have one more glass of wine, and then I fall over.
I went to Cos. That was brutal. It's just, I don't think I could go on a lad's holiday anymore. I just sort of like my hair, my eyebrows, my marriage too much.
I did once go to Gay Pride in Berlin, and that did have a lot of lads on it. You could say that was a lads' holiday. In fact, it was entirely lads.
Lads.
Lads. That's what I kept shouting.
So, lads' holidays.
I like the drinks on those sort of holidays, like things like fish bowls. It gets you absolutely off your nuts.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Imagine my surprise. Fish bowls for everyone, please. What has that music done to you people? I believe this is a... I've given you Sex on the Beach here, and this is You've Got Blue Balls.
lean in.
But what
Yes,
have we got
please.
to drink?
Is it legit?
Oh, it's legit. Oh, there's a lot.
Getting a bit of brain freeze, hang on.
Yeah, we hit an iceberg.
It's not that nice.
That tastes antifreeze.
Yeah, it tastes very chemical.
I don't think you should drink
I
anything
can't drink
that
it
blue.
with the straws, it's silly.
This
I
might
mean, you
be
can
why
take the
pass
girl out
out.
of Albert Square. Sorry, you're really hammering through that.
We thought it was a contest.
I need to drink after the shit I've just said on here.
If you have enough of that, if you really fill up on fluids, then it'll hit the ceiling. How much have you done?
It's all in the fun bits on the bottom of the glass.
Because we're lads.
It's so much better than my other lad's holiday.
Do you remind me of those programmes, you know, those ones that are like, the lads are out in San Antonio, and they always seem to go out and do exactly the same thing. And that one where their mums and dads turn up at the end. It's like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed, I can't believe I brought you up to go and get pissed and then shag all those people. And then you see them together, their parents, and you think, yeah, you did.
Did you know, for example, 20% of Brits always reread an email before sending it? It's a good idea. Last week, I nearly sent an email saying, I is very interested in your penis enlargement system. I is. Cringe. 10% of Brits ignore medical symptoms, which is fine. Don't worry about those shooting pains in your chest. That's just your body's way of telling you you need another steak bake. And 48% of women believe stress makes them unattractive. What you've done there, ladies, is confuse the word stress with jeggings. Right, let's get started. John's team, what do you think the nation should be talking about this week?
Alex Salmond has launched his manifesto for how Scotland will cope after independence, and I can speak with some authority on this because I own a Proclaimers album and have seen Trainspotting. Well, do you need any facts on Scotland? Have you been to Scotland? Do you like it?
I've been to Edinburgh. It was fun. I didn't understand anything, but it was nice. And people were like, "Oh, you must have haggis. You must have haggis." It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's just unnecessary. I'm confused by the whole Scottish thing, though, because the world is. We don't understand. So Britain. Because, like, Britain is not a country, but then you guys have a national anthem that you sing as Britain, and then you get medals as Britain in the Olympics, but then you're not a country, which is cheating, technically. This is just me asking on behalf of the world. We want to know how it works. Because we didn't know that Scotland wasn't a part of it because they used...
They are, but they're going to leave. Or they might.
To go where? They can't go anywhere. Where are they going to go? I don't understand this. This is confusing.
No, well, I'll tell you what's happened. So Alex Salmond, the First Minister of Scotland, has outlined the SNP's blueprint for Scottish independence ahead of next September's referendum. Some of the white paper key pledges, I'll just give you the key things. It said the Queen will remain head of state, Trident nuclear weapons will have to go, popular BBC programmes will stay, but they'll only air on a newly formed Scottish broadcasting service. Sean, do you think we'd be better off without Scotland?
I think it's inevitable. If I was Scottish, I'd vote for independence. I would, immediately. Because you think
well,
what
you can't vote immediately, it's not for another 10 months. So that would be a wasted vote.
Sorry. I mean, what I'd do, if I was Scottish, I'd turn it into a tax haven.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Not everyone in Scotland is for independence. Take a look at some Glasgow Rangers fans and what they think about it.
Oh, it's Salmond is a twat, is a twat. Oh, it's Salmond is a twat, is a twat.
Why is he a twat?
Because he wants to break up in union. And he shags grannies. He's a granny shagger.
Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes! Alex Salmond has unveiled the SNP's plans for Scottish independence. Following independence, the BBC would be replaced by the Scottish Broadcasting Service, leading to new Scottish programmes such as No Cash in the Attic, Doctor Who You Looking At, Dragon's Crack Den, Q Ockeye, and Skagpuss. The average sofa will witness 300 arguments, over 1,000 cuddles and 1,500 spillages. An argument that leads to a cuddle that leads to a spillage. That is a great Saturday night in. Only 20% of us can remember the name of the first person we kissed. I can't believe anyone could forget the name Arkayla. The average golfer spends £2,000 a year on their hobby. No wonder, with so little money left over, they have to steal their clothes from the bins behind the circus. It's a joke about golfers dressing like pimps. And, according to research, the average household eats 8.4 kilograms of sausages a year. Surely that's bollocks. And, of course, lips and arseholes and eyelids. But mainly bollocks. Right, let's get started. Sean, Holly and Greg, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Kraft? Kraft have bought Cadbury's, the big American cheese manufacturing company, have bought our English chocolate company. It's a sorry state of affairs. Pretty much every English business is now in foreign hands. Soon, there'll just be, like, fishermen's friends left. No one's going to buy that, are they?
They're not going to mix the cheese and the chocolate together, though, are they? They're not going to...
Oh, I hope so.
It's not like a Cadbury's...
I hope so.
Cadbury's, like, cream cheese egg.
Yeah.
No. It tastes better, actually, to be honest.
Pint and a half of Dairy Lee go into every bar.
Whisper will definitely change, because they can't fucking whisper, can they, Americans? And they can't say curly-whirly, can they? Try saying curly-whirly in an American accent.
Curly-whirly.
Curly-whirly.
I want a curly-whirly.
It works.
Curly-whirly.
I love the curly-whirlies.
Yeah.
It works. I like it better now.
Do you? They're really stupid.
Yeah.
No, but I tell you who's going to suffer the worst, the Oompa Loompas. They haven't got transferable skills.
That's it.
I've heard that Cadbury's have got their own town. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Apparently White Lightning Cider have got their own town. No houses, just a river of piss.
I think White Lightning's town is Glasgow. Let's have a look and see whether Kraft's takeover of Cadbury's is one of the most talked about things this week. It is. Yes, this is the news that American company Kraft has completed its takeover of Cadbury's. This time next year, the workforce will be half the size, or as Kraft are calling it, fun size. Cadbury's share price soared for a few minutes, then crashed and felt a bit depressed, and then reached for another dairy milk and felt much better. 54% of our audience said they believe in extraterrestrials. Robbie Williams, Uri Geller, Krista Berg, Gloria Honeyford, David Icke, Danny Dyer, Howard from the Halifax ads. They all believe in aliens. Can they all be wrong? I don't believe in aliens, but then again, it's no surprise because I also don't believe in gnomes, fairies, trolls, orcs, goblins, Jesus, unicorns, dragons, mermaids, wizards, werewolves, or meerkats. Each day, the UK produces enough rubbish to fill the Albert Hall 12 times over. Some of the rubbish that's managed to fill the Albert Hall in the past includes Simply Red, The Lighthouse Family and James Blunt. Instead of exercising, 7% of women wear body-shaping underwear like Spanx. So instead of having a body shaped like a pear, they have a body shaped like 2 pairs in a sock. And 20% of Brits who viewed a house in the last year felt the same thrill as when meeting a new lover. I know what they mean. The last time I went house hunting, I came away with a semi. Right, let's get started. Sean's team, what do you think the nation should be talking about this week?
The Olympic torch has landed on these shores, and we are watching it
go round
the country
interminably.
It started in Cornwall. That's because they flew Ryanair, and that's actually that's their London airport. London, Cornwall, we're landing in, and then it's going around the country with various people carrying it aloft.
Yeah, little Will.I.am.
Yeah.
Carried it. He's got miniature, half a Corbett.
Is he?
Yeah, half a Corbett.
Half a Corbett. Is that how we measure celebrity now?
Yes, and it's very heavy for him, but he's been carrying it.
Can we just call him William? His name is William. Just because he can't punctuate doesn't mean I don't call myself J on.
Who's Will.I.am? Is he in the Olympics?
No.
He's brilliant, and he's on The Voice. He sits on the chair, his feet don't touch the floor.
Why is he holding the torch?
The reason he's doing it, the reason Will.I.am's carrying it, is because he's Corgi registered. As a gas fitter. Drogba's. I didn't know this, but he's a fully qualified gas engineer. He worked for EDF for a while. It's very special fire, though, isn't it? It's the Olympic. It's the Olympic fire, and it's apparently it's very cathartic for people who come out to see it, because anyone who sees the flame go past instantly forgets they didn't get tickets.
There have been some fantastic protests. Did you read about that guy in Taunton who threatened to set fire to his camper van? I'm not quite sure what he was protesting against.
I've got a camper van. Every time you make a cup of tea, technically you're threatening to set fire to it.
Nick, are you excited about this? Are you excited about the flame?
No.
What about the Olympics more generally? Are you...
It's nice. So, like, on buses and stuff, they're, like, saying, oh, let's pretend like the rest of the world is like our mum, and if you had a flat, you'd tidy up your flat and make it look nice for when your mum came over, and London's your flat, so let's all tidy it up, because people might come round and see what a shithole it is. And it's just like, we live here, and they shouldn't be making us do all of the work. Like, oh, if you pick up your own litter, you do it. You do it, right? Just because there's someone coming over from Germany, right, or another country, right, doesn't mean that we should be on our special best behaviour. You should be on your special best behaviour all the time. Don't patronise us.
Sorry, Nick.
My mum doesn't visit, it's fine.
I like the fact that Sean's got Nick on his team and John's got David. It looks like we're filling a quota of homeless men.
Oh, let's just check the Channel 4 lady ratings when this show goes out. Having me and Helm on the same show, it's like, don't cross the streams. Ah! This is the sexiest thing that's ever been on TV.
Oh, David O'Doherty does not own a mirror. He has also never spoken to a lady.
I'm incredible at ladies. I'd just like to make that clear.
You're incredible at ladies.
If you say so, yes, I am.
Did you know, for example, on average, British men spend £1,412 on an engagement ring? They would have spent less, but the grabby metal crane game at the fun fair kept losing its grip. 33% of Brits think Mount Everest is in Europe, which I'm guessing means it isn't. Bloody idiots. And 1 in 5 Brits has sent a racy text message to the wrong person. I once wrote an explicit text to my girlfriend's mum, but somehow I sent it to my girlfriend by mistake. Right, let's get started. John, Sarah, Patsy, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Oh, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the news of the world. They're closing the news of the world just in case the allegations are true. It's a bit of a clue that they might be. It's a bit like saying, I can't be sure my flatmate was lying when he said he didn't drink the last of the milk, but I have had him killed anyway. But it's good news, isn't it? End of the news of the world.
It's always a bit dodgy when you walk in a news agent and all of the newspapers have got the same story apart from one that's headline just says, look over there.
The thing is, it's got to a point now where paedophiles watching this scandal unfold can take the moral high ground. What I did was wrong, but I didn't phone up dead soldiers' parents. You know, that's how bad it is, and I think that they had no choice but to get rid of the news of the world. No choice but for it to go. But what's odd is that none of the editors are being sacrificed. And it's a bit weird, these editors who said, I didn't know anything about this. It's a bit like a butcher holding up a leg of lamb and going, what, they killed a sheep? I had no idea! This is disgusting!
Patsy, now, you've been in the tabloids a lot over the years. Have the news of the world ran stories about you?
Well, I stopped buying the papers about 15 years ago because...
Did you run out of money?
Yeah, I did generally stop because you can't start your day like that, you know, because it's... Even if it's not true or it's got some semblance of truth, it's not, you know, it's not healthy.
When it was famous people, when it was, you know, Sienna Miller and it was Jude Law, I think everyone sort of think, well, it's OK, that's the game that they're in.
Yeah.
When it's bereaved families and the families of soldiers, people go, well, they can fuck off. The question is how far.
Well, I think you put that very succinctly, and I can't really add to that, you know.
So how pleased are you today is really what I'm getting at.
I mean, it's, as you say, it's a dark day, I guess, for them, you know.
It's a dark day for evil journalists.
Jimmy, I mean, you know, I'm trying to be, you know, diplomatic about it. I mean, it's awful and it's right, but,
Don't be diplomatic, they shut it down. Fuck them. There's no news to do. Sean Steen, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Kate and... Well, I don't know why they are, but apparently Kate and Wills have been in the news because they went to Canada. Yeah.
What do you mean, woo?
Well, the thing is that this country gets kind of semi-enthusiastic about it, but America go... I mean, it's crazy, crazy news over there. It's like the front of every magazine and... Huh?
America and Canada are different.
You sound exactly the same, Pet.
It's such a boring story. You've got the two most boring people in the world go to the most boring country. Sorry, but Canada is boring. Even their transvestites are women. That's how boring it is.
But I liked it, there was the Canadian pop star who didn't call him the Duke of Cambridge, she called him the douche of Cambridge.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And then and apparently William looked at her, laughed. Yeah. You can imagine him going, cut off her head.
Yeah.
He's so dull, he wouldn't. What he'd do, he just goes, oh, I don't know. When you see Kate and Wills, you were watching, I was thinking, kick a moose or something. Kick a moose. Be rude to an Inuit, piss up against a totem pole, do something. Watching them, I just think...
You're wrong, they've got so many Brits who do all of that. It's good that somebody kind of, you know, they do it right.
I'm with Sean, I miss Prince Philip on these trips.
Yeah, I do. It's like £1 million it costs to get them over there. £1 million to go to Canada. For £1 million, I'd want to be paintballing on the moon.
Paintballing on the moon would be difficult.
You spoil everything.
They're about to make up stuff for them to do because them doing normal things isn't. They went to meet a tribe called the Micmac tribe, which is obviously made up. What these guys, they make their own mints. So what you need to do is get a tic-tac knick-knack from the Micmac.
Micmac sounds like they're half Irish, half Scottish, doesn't it?
I tell you, they're heavy drinkers.
He even landed a plane on a lake, and he made that look dull.
But they said that it was amazing that he landed a plane on a lake because there's only a handful of British people that can actually do that. I think, yeah, because we haven't all got helicopters. It was a helicopter, wasn't it? We haven't all got lakes or helicopters. You know, I can reverse park a Micra.
35% of Americans think British accents are attractive. Well, jolly nice of you to say so, fatty. 19% of people who bought Katie Price's latest book, Love, Lipstick and Lies, haven't read it yet. Fine, we haven't read it, she didn't write it, everyone's happy. Right, let's get started. So we asked our studio audience, do you think you have common sense? Yes or no? John, do you think you've got common sense?
I think I've got too much common sense, yeah. I think I would say that, as a result, I'm bordering on the tedious. I don't think I've ever lost my keys or locked myself out, or... I can't remember the last time I fell over.
I fell over last year. I fell down the stairs and I broke my nose. Now, that does not make life more exciting.
Although, ka-ching, Stan a stairlift advert.
How did you fall down the stairs?
I had high heels on and a rucksack. I always go around with
high heels and a rucksack? Ooh, tell me more.
And you were dressed as a beefeater.
No, I always have a rucksack. I don't like handbags, so I can put both hands in my pockets. So when I trip...
You could break your nose.
Well, I will say if maybe I'm too commonsensical, but if I am going down the stairs in high heels, I don't put my hands in my pockets.
You know what I've always thought is a thing of common sense is I've never understood why people test bath water with their elbows.
Oh, no, you've got to use a baby.
No. Why do people always use their elbows to test bath water? Because you never put your elbows in the bath. Then you sit there like that. Your elbows never go in the actual bath. And really, what you should test water with is with your balls. And that way, you would know exactly what the temperature is.
OK. Of course, the people with the most common sense are probably, you know, practical people like plumbers. Have a look at some of their fine work.
Well, maybe that's the Siamese twins.
Yeah. Good. Take a look at this one. How do you explain that? Mr. Tickle, maybe? OK, the next one is pretty special, I think. This is amazing. I don't want them to see my face, but my junk, yeah, I'm fine with that. Fern, do you think you've got common sense?
I've been told by a lot of people that I don't have any, but to me it all seems logical. Like, I put knives in toasters and things. Is that a bad thing to do?
They are better hot.
Yeah.
So what's the thing that you've done that you've kind of gone, oh, actually, that was a bit crazy?
Oh, I was on the phone once talking to my friend when I was at school. I was playing with some paracetamol pills with the other
Sure,
hand.
you play with paracetamol, yeah? As a child, yeah, sure.
I started putting
Scottish
it in
Lego.
in and out of my ear, and then I had to go to hospital to get it removed from my ear.
And then when they took it out, did you go, oh, it sort of aches a bit, and they won't just have a paracetamol?
It was dead funny to go, you know it should go in your mouth.
I've just remembered something I did, which is very stupid when I was a kid, walking home from school, and I must have been about 7 or 8 years old, and there used to be a level crossing that went up like that. Yeah. And I had a Parker with toggles, and you'd be waiting for the train to go... No. And I was playing with my toggles, and I tied, like, not just one, about 4 knots across the railing. And I was just in a dream world, and then the thing started going up. And I was hanging on to this railing in the sky. And luckily, this guy got out of his car and sort of climbed up and cut me down as I was going...
What are you going to go for, Sean?
Yes.
OK, you're going yes? I can tell you the answer is yes. 76% of our studio audience think they have common sense. Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 15% of people say carbon monoxide detectors are too expensive? Yeah, I love my kids, but not 12 quid's worth. 1 in 3 horses in the UK are lame. So you might think horses are cool, but actually a third of them, pretty lame. 40% of people in Middlesbrough say they wouldn't buy a property without a front garden, of course, because they need somewhere to keep their fridge. Right, let's get started. Ashling's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
Article 50, my head is sore. I think basically the MPs voted in favour of triggering Article 50, but that's just an advisory vote, not legally binding. So was the referendum, that wasn't legally binding. So now it's gone to the Supreme Court, and they're going to debate it out and vote on whether that vote should go ahead or not. And if they don't vote in favour of the vote, then there has to be another vote on that vote. So I'm just really glad after the vote on Brexit, we're way out of the complications of the EU, because everything's so much simpler now.
I think they're answering, basically, the Supreme Court are answering a question that's been huge the last year. Can Brexit get any more boring? And it turns out, yes, it can.
Is it going to be a hard or a soft Brexit, was one of the questions. Also, the red, white and blue Brexit, it's just getting ridiculous. It's like Theresa's had word vomit.
I've got the clip of Theresa May. I mean, good luck. Good luck with this.
People talk about the sort of Brexit that there is going to be. Is it hard, soft? Is it grey, white? Actually, we want a red, white and blue Brexit. That is the right Brexit for the United Kingdom.
Oh, OK. Well, no, fine. We want a Brexit that looks a bit like bunting, huh?
This Supreme Court thing, I can't believe how quick it's been. They're saying they're going to have a decision in 4 days. Like, I faked whiplash in 2010. I've only just got paid.
Chris Kamara, I mean, a whole Brexit thing. Go ahead, I know
I don't know anything about politics. I have to be honest.
Don't you? I've seen you on Sky. You don't know a lot about football either. I'm not sure. OK, let's see if Brexit's up there. Yes, it's Brexit. The case for Brexit's been presented to the Supreme Court. If it gets through, the next stage is judges' houses. Then if the judges can't decide, Dermot O'Leary takes it to deadlock. Best way to make a good first impression?
Stay flaccid. You live and learn, Jim. And when I meet someone fully flaccid, I swear by it.
It's a little bit of a compliment if I was to meet someone and they got a straightaway boner. I was like, thank you.
I think we have found the best way to deal with if anyone ever gets flashed. It's a horrible thing if you get flashed in the park or anything. It's kind of gross. But I think
yeah.
Thank you. OK, how do you make a good first impression?
I don't know, Jim.
So let's say when you were, your footballing career, when you turn up in Stoke as a player, you arrive at a new club.
I turned up at Stoke on crutches. I just recently had a cartilage operation.
So you turned up on crutches,
limped towards the door, and
signed.
And signed, yeah.
I mean, that's a maverick, isn't it? Signing someone and going, well, he can't walk, but I reckon if we put him near the goal, he'll be all right.
That was the best they saw of me.
OK, best way to make good first impression.
Jimmy, compliment.
Number 8, that's number 8 on our list.
Smiling.
It's exactly right, smiling.
Oh.
Of course he got that. Look at him. He can make a good first impression from 400 yards. Yes, the best way to make a good first impression is smiling. You can't tell much about me from my smile, but what you can tell is my dentist has just bought a speedboat. Did you know, for example, 22% of British people that have found something unwanted in their food chose not to complain? I found something disgusting in a box of chicken nuggets once. 6 chicken nuggets. 30% of British men would ditch their partner for a friend. I admit, I would. I'd say to my girl, sorry, babe, but you know with me, it's bros before hoes, and tonight, baby girl, it's chess club. I'll be back by 8:30. And pet owners that sleep with their pets are susceptible to a variety of animal diseases. Not me, I always wear a condom. Right, let's get started. Roxy, what do you think the nation should be talking about this week?
Glastonbury.
Oh, yeah. Ella, you play Glastonbury.
I've done it twice now.
You've done 2 Glastonburys.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Amazing.
Well, I grew up in Somerset, actually. It's kind of like once you finished GCSEs, you go to Glastonbury. So to play it 4 years later was sick.
Whoa.
Wow. Was good.
She means it was good.
People talk about Glastonbury like they've been to Vietnam. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, did 2007, 2008. You know, it's crazy, crazy times. You just weed in a field and listen to music looking at the back of someone's head.
I used to go to it a lot and thought I was having fun. And then I took my husband, he'd never been when we first met. I said, I want to take you to Glastonbury. It's brilliant. It's really good fun. And then we were watching Coldplay and a bloke pissed up the back of his leg. And he said, I am not having fun.
Kerry, that's better than him going, I like this.
You don't have to go now. That's the great... Now it's televised, you don't have to go, do you? I watched Adele last year. You can mute it when she's talking. You can, when she does, all right, love, you have a cup of tea. You just...
Pamela, have you been to any festivals?
I've never seen a concert from the front.
You've never seen a concert from the front? Have
No.
you always been backstage?
Yes.
Oh.
I've never been this way.
That's crazy.
Whatever. No, I haven't.
My problem with Glastonbury is like, oh, it's like freedom and all that hippie shit. But the admin for a ticket is ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's easier to get a visa for North Korea than getting to Glastonbury. Insane. Do you know what would make Glastonbury interesting? If they banned girls from wearing denim shorts.
About banning them on shoulders, because I'm, you know, usually standing behind them with the hump. And the poor fella is just trying to get his knob off. He's 7 hours like that. On the off chance. What a festival. Do you have a good time? Yeah.
OK, the worst thing about the festivals is clearly the toilets. But I think some people are using them wrong.
Nee, je zou bijna denken dat je gewoon een biertje eruit kan scheppen. Flinke schuimkraag. Oh. Beetje... I think it is, man.
Chris.
Whoa.
I've got a business idea for festivals, which I've been trying to pitch for years, but no one's interested.
Well, OK.
Please. OK, adult nappies. I mean, I know that sounds a bit weird, but if you called them festival pants, and then, because the problem is, you drink and then you go down the front and you're like, I need a piss, and then you've got to go back and it's a nightmare. Festival pants.
What you could do is, put, pictures Bono on them.
Kate Moss.
Yeah. Oh, you could have Jay-Z on the front of it, and then you could have written, I got 99 problems, but a shit ain't one.
You and me,
Well, I can tell you that Glastonbury is not one of the most talked about things, but at Glastonbury now, instead of camping, you can go glamping, which is where you fly in by helicopter and stay in a posh tent. Though most regulars agree, glamping is for glunts. Did you know, for example, people in Sheffield have the most fillings and missing teeth in Britain? Finally, something to go on that Welcome to Sheffield poster. 34% of the under-30s don't know how to wire a plug. It's easy. Dad, how'd you wire a plug? 7% of men say they've taken credit for work they didn't do, and that's according to a poll I conducted myself earlier today. And 60% of teenagers say they only go to church for weddings and christenings and claim they don't know nothing about no lead on no roof. Right, let's get started. Sean's team first. What do you think the nation have been talking about?
People still moaning about the snow.
Well, some people are slightly more moany than others.
Brilliant thing on the news. Another bloke was being interviewed on the news the other day, and he was saying, he said, my bins haven't been emptied for a month, and the way he said it was like a euphemism. Nobody's come round to empty my bins. They haven't even given them a lick. I wouldn't mind if someone just came round and just jiggled my bins.
Say, have your bins been emptied recently?
They were. There was a lack of bin men, and I had left out a big load of beer for them for Christmas, which was still there until earlier this morning.
So they have sex with you for beer?
Where did the sex bit come into it?
Oh, I was thinking of my euphemism.
Yeah, I think you were sticking
That was
it
just
up.
in our heads.
Oh.
Yeah.
But in our heads, it was going brilliantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm now cleared out, as it
Have you been affected by the snow, Josie?
I tell you what I saw. I was walking along the road just after it snowed and everyone was moaning about lack of grit. I saw someone had taken it into their own hands, and what they'd done was they put loads of flour on the drive, and then when they run out of flour, they put loads of oats, and then they put loads of sugar. And I was really expecting to see, just next to that, a baker frozen to death. Just...
I've got my own salt. I use these little sachets of salt. What I do is I sprinkle a bit like that. Right, then I get another one out.
I get really pissed off. I get really pissed off by the whole, like, panic buying stuff that everyone talks about, like, panic buying, because there's a food shortage, people go out and they panic buy bread, eggs and milk. Like, to me, that doesn't seem like panic buying in a food shortage. That's quite intelligent buying. Panic buying would be if you went out to the shops during a food shortage and came back with, like, a copy of 40 Towers and a dildo.
Panics! Is there a business opportunity here, Peter?
I don't... What, with dildos?
No. Although...
Do you know what I see, though? I don't know whether everybody else thinks the same, but this weather, you've got some nutters on the road.
I did see the two guys that drove on the canal this week. You see that?
Great, wasn't it?
You know, the best thing about the story, so it was guys, they got their car, whatever it was, a little tiny Citroen, they drove it along a canal and it went into the water and it reported that they both made it out alive, and so did the dog. They took a dog.
Maybe the dog was driving. That's why they're on the canal. You know, sometimes you go to your dog, go on, you have a go. Sellotape his paws to the wheel. I'll do the gears, don't worry about the pedals. That's what happened.
Let's have a look and see whether the cold weather is still one of the most talked about things. Yes, of course it is. Yes, this is the news that the UK is still in the midst of the coldest winter for 30 years. A headmaster in Hampshire claims some pupils are struggling to make it into school because of the bad weather. He said of the 320 sitting maths A-level, 280 were in the exam hall when the exam started. Another 30 turned up 20 minutes later. 4 people went to the toilet, but only 3 returned. Then 42 left the building. How many were there at the end of the exam? Many people in the north have been bulk buying food because they're fat, greedy bastards. What do you think people like about the festive season?
It's like parties, Christmas parties.
Well, there's a big one. New Year people
New
like,
Year.
don't they?
Yeah?
Well, I'm excited about this one because 7 years ago, I cheersed with a girl, this is true, and I didn't look at her, and I didn't know you're supposed to make eye contact. And she said, that's 7 years bad sex.
Yeah.
And at the time I thought, bullshit. And I tell you what, that powerful witch, she was bang on.
So the spell will be broken this new year.
Fingers crossed.
Sometime around June, we'll get the results in.
Do you like New Year? Do you go out or do you stay at home?
No, I never go out anymore. We've got children. Well, we press up against the window of the pub.
And wave.
Wave.
Ollie, have you had a good New Year's Eve?
I had a lovely New Year once, and I remember there was this boy that I really fancied, and it was like I was kissing him for the first time, and it was like amazing. And then the clock struck midnight, and I was like, oh my God, I need to be with my friends. So I ran downstairs, and as I ran off so quickly, I dropped one of my shoes. And then I found my friends, and we were, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And then I was like, oh my God, my shoe's gone. And I couldn't find the boy anywhere. And then the next thing I know, the sort of people parted and the mist settled, and he was there holding my shoe, like Cinderella.
So you egged him off, you just went, cheers, mate, I thought I'd lost that. Off you go.
No, but that's a nice New Year's story.
Yeah, it's lovely, but it was also a dream, Holly.
Roisin, have you had similar New Year's Eves?
No, I've not had a nice New Year's Eve like that. I don't really enjoy New Year's Eve that much. I find it quite...
A lot of pressure.
I'm single as well, and it's quite... They're kissing at, you know, midnight and stuff. I have to go and run and hide somewhere so I don't... Otherwise, it looks like you're, like, looking. you know.
That's maybe the wrong expression to use.
I stay indoors at New Year's. Set off some fireworks. Out a turkey's bum. Get you dinner and show.
I bet you party like it's 1939.
Let's have a look and see if New Year's Eve is up there. Yes! New Year's Eve! New Year's Eve can be a tough time for old people living alone, so what I like to do every year is not think about them because it's depressing. New Year's Eve celebrations come from pagans in ancient Babylonia. Last year at New Year's, my nana got so drunk, she showed everyone her ancient Babylonians. I wish Ant and Dec would stop doing those Morrison's adverts. They're misleading. I've looked everywhere in Morrison's and I can't find kangaroo anus anywhere. Did you know, for example, students have to apply for an average of 24 jobs before they find a position? Things are tough out there. I met a guy recently who told me he had a first with honours, an MA and a PhD. I said, that's great, but I asked you for a burger without pickle. 72% of people find spending time with animals relaxing. I like having dogs around, but my girlfriend objects to all the licking of balls and sniffing of bums. She says it upsets the dogs. And 40% of men worry about getting fat. There's a simple test for men. Look down at your stomach. If it's flat, you've got nothing to worry about. If it's sticking out a bit, you might need to go on a diet. And if you can't see your stomach because your boobs are getting in the way, you've got a problem. Right, let's get started. Dawnstein.
Well, I think everyone's just overjoyed about Prince Charles's birthday.
Yay!
And I'd like to do him a special birthday message.
Please do.
Happy birthday, sir. That's it.
Well, Prince Charles is 65. He's of retirement age now.
Jimmy, he looks older. He
Well,
looks
you can
older than
talk.
65. But no, he does. Seriously, I thought he was more.
Jordan, what do you think of Prince Charles? He's 65. Have you met him?
I think I have.
You think you have? Some people have met him, some people haven't, but there's very few in your category of... You think I might have?
I feel like I could have met him because I've done some stuff in life that might have led me there, but every time I see pictures of him, he's got really fat fingers, like he's got really fat sausage fingers. And I think if I met him, I would have remembered the handshake. I feel like if we didn't have a royal family, there's risk that half the world just won't care about us anymore. Do you not ever feel that?
Hey, we still got the Rizzle kicks, relax.
I just think it gives us an identity. Like, you can associate us, everyone's like, oh, Britain, the Queen.
I know, but unfortunately, it's an identity of a load of inbred wankers.
I can tell you it's not one of the most talked about things this week, but Prince Charles turns 65. At Charles's age, most people are thinking about putting their feet up and doing nothing. But he fancies a change. OK, let's get some answers on this. So we asked our studio audience, should people grow old gracefully, yes or no? What do you think, Sean?
No.
No, they shouldn't.
No.
John?
No, I don't think people should grow old gracefully.
Well, I can tell you the answer is no. Only 43% of our audience think you should grow old gracefully. I'm definitely going to try and grow old gracefully, and by that I mean in 10 years I'm hoping to be wearing Lycra on Strictly rather than eating kangaroo anus on I'm a Celebrity. Did you know, for example, 26% of new mums worry about their social life changing? So you lose the chance to hang out with the girls, drink Prosecco and have a good old gossip, but on the other hand, you've got sick down your top, your house stinks of baby shit and your boobs ache. So, swings and roundabouts. 10,000 birds die each year crashing in windows. Hey, birds, get with it. Maybe it's time you got a Mac. That is a silly joke. And 17% of women want a partner who likes their cooking better than their mums. I'll admit my girlfriend's cooking is much better than my mum's, but when it comes to blowjobs... Right, let's get started. Best way to put the spark back into a relationship? What do you think, Rob?
Role play? She rolls over and I play with myself.
Alex, what do you think? What's the best way to put the spark back into a relationship?
I think there are two options.
OK.
Alcohol.
Perfect.
Easy. Or a life and death situation.
Sometimes you can combine the two. If you're doing enough Jaeger bombs in one night, oh.
Or you're having a picnic on a very high cliff. Hold on, back in love.
What do you think, Aisling, if you had to put the spark back into a relationship?
Why bother with sparks? Why not go fire? Set yourself on fire, then he'll notice me!
Craig?
I'd say have an affair. You know, the breakup sex is brilliant. And then coming back to one another is brilliant.
You really are the voice of Strictly.
Have an affair, everyone. Well, they've all taken that advice, haven't they?
See, I would never do Strictly. If I wanted to cheat on my husband, I would just do it and skip all the dance rehearsals.
It's such a convenient excuse, isn't it? Like, oh, I was cursed. I didn't know what I was doing. I walked under a ladder and fell onto his cock. I didn't know what had happened.
Have you had relationships that needed a little bit of a spark, and what did you do?
Absolutely. My boyfriend's so cute, but it's kind of nerdy. He, like, wears a mouth guard every night to bed, and he sweats a lot. So I just, like, imagine he's a boxer. He has, like, little night terrors. I'm like, fight him, baby. So cute.
I'll tell you what doesn't put a spark back into a relationship, if you've got kids, is when the baby's crying and you go, oh, have you tried giving it some milk?
Don't tell me this.
And she goes, oh, yeah, I'm just sitting here with a baby. I'm not fucking feeding for 3 hours. Oh, yeah, I didn't think to give it milk, did I? I was sitting there looking at crying at me.
Your missus sounds charming.
Oi, oi! Rob's home.
Did you meet your wife in prison?
Sitting here with a baby, not feeding it. Oi!
This little bug's had nothing 3 days.
OK, best way to put a spark back in a relationship. What do you think?
Toys or...
Sex toys. Number 10 is swinging.
Oh, no.
But just going to the park's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Date night.
Date night's number 2. It's more than a date night.
A weekend away.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Yeah. Yes, the best way to put a spark back into a relationship is a weekend away. I tried to be romantic by taking my girlfriend to a spa, but apparently she wasn't impressed, and it's not even a decent supermarket. Did you know, for example, 29% of women under 30 say they want the perfect body? Well, here it is, ladies. Come and get it. 79% of people say they feel guilty putting recyclables in the bin. I get round it by placing my recyclables in a paper bag and throwing that in a hedge. And the average woman walks 7,000 miles in her lifetime whilst hoovering. And that statistic is brought to you by the year 1953. Right, let's get started. Top reason people are jealous of their friends.
I've got a mate who works at a Marmite factory.
Yeah.
He's always the talk of the town, so...
Yeah. Some people love him, some people...
No, we all love him.
So I'm jealous of is Joe's beard. I can't grow a beard.
Me neither.
I can't. And if I even 2 weeks, I just look like a sort of, really old tennis ball. Patchy and bits there. I mean, you could just probably knock that out in a couple of hours, can you? Yeah.
You're looking at that through rose-tinted glasses, though, because Joe can't go to playgrounds, for example. Are you jealous of any of your friends?
I can't get up in the morning and I'm just a really lazy person.
I'm jealous of her for not having to get up in the morning. There you go. Sleep until midday, lovely. We there?
Really lazy.
I'm jealous of anyone with a foreskin. That was different, that's not you.
I can do something which will make you all jealous, especially Joe. Look, I can do this.
Whoa! Forget Joe, that's amazing!
Is that the Olympic symbol?
What?
Joe.
Yeah. He's just trying to make sure I know the
Yeah. Look at the amount of people in our audience currently going...
Do you start from the little one and work forward?
If you've just tuned in, we've got mental. OK, so top reason people are jealous of their friends. I'll give you a clue, it's a really superficial thing.
Yeah, it'll be money or having a hot girlfriend, boyfriend.
Hair's not far off.
Hair, looks.
Looks.
Noses.
Money. Long arms.
Long arms.
Skinnier is the right answer. What? She got the right answer. Skinnier. Yeah, that's... Apparently the top reason people are jealous of their friends is because they're thinner. Victoria Beckham's so thin, she's got to be careful when she has a bath, because if the water's too hot, she could turn into stock. Did you know, for example, kissing someone for a minute burns 2.6 calories? You know what? Paolo says he's a personal trainer, but I'm starting to think he's just making up as he goes along. 48% of businesses have banned their staff from using Facebook and Twitter. Sounds reasonable, but it's a nightmare for everyone who works at Facebook and Twitter. And, according to a poll, 35 is too old to wear a miniskirt. That is sexist nonsense. 35 is fine to wear a miniskirt, but 36, Jesus wept. The only thing covering those legs should be a coffin. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation, and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. John, Patsy and Jack, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Wimbledon?
Did you go this week?
I went to Eastbourne.
You went to Eastbourne?
It was really good.
Really? So you went to Eastbourne, not Wimbledon?
Do you have a problem with your sat-nav?
It was a really brilliant match. I saw Venus Williams.
How did you cope with the screaming?
Screaming where? In Eastbourne?
At the tennis, when they hit it and they...
Screaming? Grunting?
They're trying to ban it, aren't they? They're trying to ban the noises.
Yeah, they are. They said this week it was OK, it was better for concentration and stability to grunt.
I have to watch it with the sound down. I can't be doing with it. If you turn the sound down and do your own noises, like boink, boink. I imagine that the ball boys are little gremlins, and then when they come out to get a ball, I go... Oh, yeah.
Can I hear the gremlin noise again?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I go, my ball. They've taken all the fun out of it, though. One of the first things they did this week, when it rained, because they can still play, but they closed Henman Hill, because they didn't want people sliding down. And again, more fun than tennis. Like, they should just have a camera, posh old lady with a tray full of Pims, just trying to get across the... Far better than tennis.
Joe, do you watch the tennis?
Yeah, well, no.
I used to watch it, but in the end, it's the same thing. It's just different people winning. It's the same every time. Oh, you won that one.
Does anyone think Andy Murray's going to win?
Of course he's not going to win. We always go through this shit every year. He's never going to win.
Read the news like that. Oh, this is bollocks. I'm not reading that. Move on.
Well, it'd be good. It'd be a breath of fresh air if the news was read like this.
I'd love that.
Afghanistan, yada, yada, yada.
The thing that did annoy me was that Andy Murray takes his top off a lot. And, like, he's obviously proud of his body, isn't he? Which annoys me. If he had my body, he wouldn't do it.
Because if he had your body, yeah. I don't know whether he'd be playing there.
Well, because I get changed like I'm an old woman on the beach. With like a towel up, kind of like that. So I find that sort of quite offensive when people sort of go, oh, is the camera still on?
Yeah. I don't think he physically looks that impressive, Andy Murray. That always strikes me as like Nadal is like.
Why does he take his top off?
Yes.
He doesn't do it during the game.
What, has he actually got
afterwards? He's not in the middle of a point. Just woo. Like that. He waits and then takes it off.
If it goes for extra time, it's just in his pants.
Yeah. always think he looks a mess, because, like, Nadal is incredible. Like, he's just a physical Adonis. And Andy Murray looks like a heroin addict that shoplifted a JD Sports. He's pathetic. And, like, when you see him next to Nadal is just the perfect man, because he's really strong. He's got these big pistons of arms, but then a really nice little boyish face, sort of very hamsterish features. Like, imagine if you were with Nadal, he'd be, like, 2 hours of, like, rampant, ferocious sex, and then afterwards, just make you Eggs Benedict.
Does anyone... Do you fancy a game of Who's Got a Crush on Nadal? Anyone fancy a game? Oh, look, I've won. Let's have a look and see whether Wimbledon is one of the most talked about things this week. The most talked about thing this week? It's week 1 of Wimbledon. If Andy Murray is crowned Wimbledon champion, it'll be an incredible day for tennis, tinged only with the sadness that Federer, Nadal and Djokovic all dropped dead in the same tournament. Sean, Krishnan and Joe, what else have the nation been talking about?
The Greek economy. The bailout, the riots in Greece. They've been rioting about the austerity measures that are being imposed. And they couldn't control the rioters. I thought they'd have used the hummus cannon. Spray them with hummus, and in the sun it'd dry quickly and they'd be stuck like that. Taking a very light-hearted approach to that serious problem they've got in Greece.
Krishnan, you're like a proper grown-up newsreader. Tell us what's going on in Greece.
They're screwed, basically. I mean, they're...
Get to us straight. Don't sugarcoat it for us.
Yeah, they've got massive debts that they can't service, and they need another bailout.
Have they thought of going to maybe Wonga.com?
How much do they owe?
Total debts are €355 billion.
355 billion?
Yeah.
There's got to be a point where you start opening your statements. And go,
The thing is, if we bail them out, it might cost Britain about £1 billion. If they go bust, it'll cost Britain a hell of a lot more than that.
But he's not doing it, is he? He's having none of it, David Cameron. He's saying no.
He's saying no.
He's saying
leave it. It's not worth it.
But then in another statement the next day, he said, maybe.
We should be a little bit wary as well of, like, dishing out the money too soon, because I've done a little bit of research, right? Eurovision Song Contest, Greece gave us 2 points. 2 points. They gave 12 points to Azerbaijan. So now they're coming here, oh, can we have a little bit of money? Well, how about you get your money off your best friend's Azerbaijan? You can't, because you don't know what Azerbaijan is. Well, you should have thought of that when you didn't give any points to Lee Ryan. Bitches. They should love Blue. Anthony Costa, he's Greek and he pissed on a cash machine. That sums up their country.
Back though in the local community, because I've just been to Corfu, and at the bottom of the hill, the villa where we stayed, there was a little supermarket called Aphrodite Supermarket.
Right.
And she was charging £2.50 for a tin of baked beans.
Cheeky bitch!
At least they're all trying to get the money, claw it back.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm just going to check in with the man from Channel 4 News and see if... That sounds like they might be getting the money back. Yeah. Have you heard the latest? Because I don't know what... So, 355 billion. What's 355 billion minus... Was it £2.50?
No.
I mean, you know there's other food in Greece other than beans. Like...
I didn't buy the beans. I just noticed
You didn't buy the beans, but they priced you out of buying beans.
Yeah, I just thought that is a liberty, Aphrodite.
That is a liberty. You can take the girl out of Walford, but you can't.
I think the Greeks have cooked the best food I've ever had. Have you had a gyros? It's like a kebab, but they put the chips in it and roll it up, and it's just... You've blown my mind. No one thought of that. They put the chips in it and then they roll it up.
I've never seen you this passionate.
Oh. Maybe you didn't look me in the eye anymore when we make love.
Final decision rests with John. John, should we bail out Greece?
I don't think we should, because I don't understand how a country can go bankrupt. I just don't... it's one of the things I want to see it happen, just to know what it looks like.
Well, it's £55 to get to Ireland. Go and have a look. Let's have a look and see whether Greece was one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed. Yes, this is the news that Greece is facing economic meltdown. Economists have described the situation in Greece as hairy. So, no change there, then. 31% of taxi drivers don't take a break whilst at work. You'd think that'd make them cranky and opinionated. And a teaspoon contains 120 drops of water. That's according to research by Professor, probably, from the University of... Yeah, I reckon. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Jason's team, you're to guess first. What do you think people might have been talking about this week?
It's the untimely death of Molly Sugden. Who saw that coming? Who else is that?
Jimmy.
Is it...
Jimmy. He had his chance.
Yes, David, what?
Have you heard Michael Jackson is dead?
Yes.
I thought the coverage, like the night he died on Thursday, was it Thursday when it happened?
Thursday, yeah.
I mean, I sat there all night just flipping channels between BBC, Sky News, just trying to see how many different ways you can say Michael Jackson is dead. There was this lady on BBC News, and she said, Michael Jackson, King of Pop, dead at 50. We go back live to Los Angeles for an update. He dead!
Are you sad about it?
For me, it's a little bit like when Diana died. I couldn't give a fuck. The audience, how do you feel? Are you good at... Do you feel sad? No, it's a weird one. A few of you, yes. Now, I read in the paper, the big story, the real tragedy around Michael Jackson's death was the fact you were looking for a house and you lost out on the deposit.
Yeah, there's an element of truth in that, yeah.
So did you find him a house?
He was actually found 3 houses. And this is perhaps why I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah. Is he living in one?
Because... just a little bit. He was due to sign he was due to choose one of the houses this week.
So what was he looking for? Was it a flat?
Fairground, isn't it? Has it got an ensuite? Has it got a waltzer?
Well, what was he looking for?
He needed what was essentially a stately home, but it needed to have all the mod cons of a gym and a cinema and a panic room and that sort of thing.
But I think what's quite interesting is they were going to have a state funeral. People were going to go and see his coffin. What they're going to do instead of a state funeral, they're just going to dangle him out of a window for 30 seconds.
Let's have a look and see whether Michael Jackson is one of the most talked about things this week. I imagine he's right up there. Yes, indeed. I think the highest percentage we've ever had. Yes, Michael Jackson has passed away. You could tell Michael Jackson wasn't well. He hasn't looked himself since about 1984. Did you know, for example, 80% of obese people say they've got no idea how much they should be eating? Here's a clue. Less than that. 30% of people say their favourite meal hasn't changed since childhood. My favourite meal's still the same. Sucking on boobies. Right, Mum? And 18% of the population has sleepwalked. My girlfriend's a terrible sleepwalker. A few weeks ago, she sleepwalked out of the house, met up with her ex-boyfriend, they sleep-shagged, and now she sleep-left me. When she wakes up, she's going to be so embarrassed. Right, let's get started. Sean's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
I think people have been talking about Guy Fawkes Night.
Did you go to a bonfire?
No. I don't really like fireworks. I think they're like looking at views. Just boring after a while.
Yeah, views. Yeah. I mean, the whole eye is overrated as far as I'm concerned. You don't like views?
But listen, you go out and then you've got to look at the fireworks and you go, this is great. And then 3 minutes in, you think, I'm bored now, I'm cold. And then you're stuck there.
Sean, is it a big night in your house? Do you do the bonfires?
Yeah, I like the bonfire thing. I mean, I had to take the RSPCA's advice quite seriously because they said you should check under your bonfire for sleeping hedgehogs. And I couldn't find any, but luckily I had some in the freezer. So. Yeah, got that sorted.
Yeah, sure. I think I look like Guy Fawkes because the people on our road did an effigy and it really looked like me. They'd done it on our road. It was right in front of my house. It was kind of in my front garden. They'd even use, like, a photocopy of my face. And they were, like, chanting, "Weirdo out, weirdo out, weirdo out," which must be like a traditional chant or something.
John, did you go to a fireworks display?
It was a landmark year for me. This was the first year when I couldn't even be bothered to go to the window to look. Usually, if I hear some, I'll go and have a look at my neighbour's fireworks, but this year I just thought, nah, I'm enjoying Gogglebox.
I think anyone who pays an entrance fee to a bonfire display doesn't understand what the sky is. Like, £2 in, I'm going to stand on that car over there and play with my £2 that I've just saved.
Taunt them with it?
Yeah, just...
The best firework display, I think, in history was in Scotland a couple of years ago. It was meant to last half an hour, but due to a technical hitch, all the fireworks went off in under a minute. Let's have a look. This was meant to last half an hour. You'd have made it to the window for that, wouldn't you, John?
I would have, yeah, if I'd have heard Armageddon outside my window.
Just imagine being there thinking, oh, how are they going to follow this up? Oh, they're not.
I'd like to have seen the guy's face who lit them all and at the end just stood there just like that. I don't know.
Yeah, would you try to stop them? I reckon he just wanted to beat the traffic. He just sat and just ran to his car.
Let's have a look and see if firework night is up there. Yes, it was bonfire night this week. In one town in Kent, locals burnt an effigy of Apprentice star Katie Hopkins, which seems crazy because you can get the real Katie Hopkins for £75 plus travel. 8% of men want to marry a teacher. I used to go out with a teacher. If I wanted to have sex, she always insisted I put my hand up first. Did you know, for example, 7% of people don't wear underwear? Sadly, though, it's not the 7% of people you hoped. 25% of men say they can tell if a woman is faking an orgasm. My girlfriend doesn't fake it. Last week, she told me that she had the most mind-blowing orgasm of her life. God, I wish I'd been there. Right, let's get started.
There's never been a better time, if you want to support Greece, is to get pissed on an ouzo. Just go, I'll support a Greek economy. So.
Ouzo, it's the last thing at a party. You know you've had a good party if you get down to the ouzo.
Yeah. Well, ouzo, you notice they never advertise it. Because the only way you could advertise it would be a man wiping his arse with his own pants. Ouzo. Tonight's going to be interesting.
Yeah. You know with ouzo, genuinely, if you put it in an eye drop and put it on your own eyes...
Oh, Johnny!
It's like having X-ray specs for about 10 seconds and then it starts to really burn. You have 10 seconds of going...
That is a man that spent some time with alcohol. When I first met you, you were drinking, I think it was Baileys and Cointreau in pints.
Yeah, that was like a Gaviscon.
John, what else do you think made the list?
Mare shit.
Mare shit?
Yeah.
Mare shit, yeah.
That's happening.
For real.
Here's all the Boris and Ken stuff and who's going to win. I think if anyone should win, it's probably better to be Boris, because at least he could give a good speech at the Olympics, rather than Ken. He always sounds like he's just about to embark upon a lecture about, like, interesting developments in drainage or something. He hasn't got the majesty to hold it, unlike Boris, I think.
Yeah, but we're looking for a mayor, not a town crier.
They already had a fight, didn't they? They had a fight in a lift.
Yes.
Boris pinned Ken up against a wall and called him an effing liar.
Yeah. 3 times.
Thrice. Thrice. And then Brian Paddock was in there and he said, oh, I nearly arrested you. And the Green Party lady, she couldn't say anything because she should have been using the stairs.
A 19-year-old from Chorley has had the face of Boris tattooed on his leg. It was all a misunderstanding. He asked for an anchor. Do you want to have a look at this tattoo? It's a genuine thing. He's had a tattoo of Boris. Have a look.
That's great. What a good tattoo, though. What a good piece of artwork that is.
Always seeing the positive. That's what we like about you.
It is.
Yeah, nice. You know what
I'd like to have Sean Locke tattooed on my back, because he's my favourite comedian.
He's your favourite comedian?
Sorry. Yeah, at the moment.
Really?
A picture of Sean Locke on your back?
Yeah,
That'd be slightly off-putting for me later.
Yeah.
Did you know, for example, in a recent survey, 80% of Scottish men claim they regularly surf the web until they were told that the fruit machine in the chippy is not actually part of the internet. 7% of 80-year-olds have used email, and it's even better for them because they love spam. 21% of people text whilst on the loo. They're on pay-as-you-go. And 47% of men would give up sex for 6 months in return for a 50-inch plasma TV. And 47% of women said, deal. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what are the top uses of the internet. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 uses of the internet. Sean, your team to go first. What do you think people use the internet for?
Well, Carol, you're on the internet.
I'm on the internet all the time. I tell you what I do. I shop on the internet. I buy absolutely everything on the internet.
You're not worried about fraud and all that sort of stuff?
No.
You're not worried about people nicking your identity and that?
No.
I bet your password is proper confusing, though, isn't it? You've got an amazing password that you've actually got to solve 3 sums to get the password.
I buy a ton of books from Amazon, but I actually go to the factory and I never ever use their website.
You just go to the depot in Leicester?
Yeah, and there's one in Germany. I just like to be able to browse and see them in the boxes and, you know...
It would be amazing if Amazon opened up a shop where you could browse.
Yeah.
I find it weird when they do that thing where they sort of suggest other things that you might like to buy because of what you've bought previously. Like, I bought your DVD at Christmas, right? And then it said, you like Jimmy Carr's DVD, you might also like a Police Academy 5 assignment Miami Beach.
Whereas, actually, you'd be more likely to like Mission to Moscow, which is the 6th in the series.
But you were great in both of those films, so...
I tell you, I bought your DVD at Christmas as well, and quite rightly, you know, they offer you things that you think would be associated. And there's an inflatable bondage chair that came up on mine. But
well, there must have been some other things that you bought as well. It is, the recommendations is an odd thing, because it's sort of... I don't mind buying stuff on Amazon, but when the recommendations come up, I do sometimes think, is that me? I've got to change.
It would freak you out if it happened in Tesco, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? If you were, like, buying some tuna and someone went, do you like tuna? You tried it with pasta? It's well nice. Or if somebody came and bought your shopping last minute. Like, you've done all the work, bought it, and you put your bid in for your shopping, you're lining up in Tesco and someone's gone, I think you'll find that's my shopping now.
David, do you buy anything on... You buy eBay stuff, don't you?
I recently bought on eBay a 5-foot actual-size inflatable giant penguin. And it's the first time ever in my life I have thought, wow, when my parents were my age, they had 2 kids in a house, and I have an actual-size 5-foot
Right, let's have a look and see whether shopping is one of the top 5 uses of the internet.
Yay!
Did you know, for example, 37% of bingo winners don't tell their other halves about their windfall, and that's because their husbands are dead. 57% of British school kids think that Germany is the most boring country in Europe, which is a good thing. We had interesting Germany. And humans and dolphins are the only mammals that have sex for pleasure, but a dog will do it for a biscuit. Let's get started. Your related question. 8% of men have secretly used dancer-sized videos to keep themselves in shape. True or false?
I don't think they're using them to stay in shape, to be honest. They're popping them on and going, yeah, I'm just staying in shape, love, that's all I'm doing.
Sarah, are you attracted to a man that can dance?
I like a manly man, but I like a man who will let himself be vulnerable enough to try dancing.
There's 6 blokes here. Let's see, chair dancing, right? Who's got the best moves for Sarah and see which one turns her on.
Yeah, let's definitely start with you.
Let's start with... OK.
Yeah.
A pretty good start.
Oh, got a little bit dizzy now. Steve?
Oh, God.
Come on.
I'm going to take a old school...
Oh, no. Sarah's close. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were rubbing a cat.
Is this...
Your turn. There he goes.
Quite high in the air.
I've actually been dancing for the whole show, but I've been doing the river dance, so there's no upper body movement whatsoever. The whole show I've been dancing away happily. While you lot have been playing your panel game, I've been throwing fucking shapes under here.
There is a version of this show that goes out in Ireland, which is just Alan's feet.
Very popular it is too, but if you want some upper body stuff, what about that?
You realise whoever wins this, you have to fart.
Yeah, here we go.
Now the high point, ladies and gentlemen, what you've all been waiting for.
It's just a bit of that.
Oh, nice.
Not too much, you know. Oh, keep those orderlies away, they're stealing my stuff.
Well, I like to take things slowly, so usually what I do is I start off with...
Sarah, what do you think? Who's the best dancer?
Who was the sexiest?
I wish I could say all of you. I love Jason personally, but I would have to say Sean because he kind of just broke through and it was funny.
Well done, Sean.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Go on, Sean. Do you want to wait till after?
Can I have it later?
OK, so let's get some guesses. 8% of men have secretly used dancer-sized videos to keep them in shape. What do you think, Sean? Yes or no?
Yeah.
True or false? True? True? Do you think true?
Yeah.
Guess properly.
True.
Fine, near enough. Jason?
I think we're going to go true, actually.
OK, you're going true. I can tell you the answer is true. Yes. Incredibly, 8% of men have used a dancer-sized video. I tried to lose weight with salsa, but I put on 4 stone, mainly because of the Doritos. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points for Sean's team and 7 points to Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Most desirable superpower.
I'd like to be really smart all the time and have one hand is an iron. I'm always really smart. And everywhere I go, people go, isn't he smart?
Welcome to my world.
My superpower fantasy is invisibility. I would find somebody I hate and take a massive shit over them. No, but think about it. They're sitting there having lunch with their parents. Bang, you're covered in shit. And I'm gone.
This is turning into a real think tank.
Yeah. In Harry Potter, they've got that invisibility cloak, haven't they? But Ron never uses it for evil, does he? It's always for good, isn't it? You never see at any point him sneaking into Hermione's room and having a little look at a Gryffindor.
Sarah, if you could have a superpower, what do you think you'd go with?
I would want the power to eat anything I want, and then it takes the nutrients out, and then I vomit in like a perfect ball, everything else, but it's mint flavored. Or no, just a fly, I think.
I'll put you down for both.
Okay.
Excellent. If you had a superpower?
I'd like to be able to run faster than the speed of sound.
You should just wish to walk at the speed of us. I'm sorry.
You kind of got it earlier. What did you say earlier?
Invisibility.
Correct answer.
Well, I'll do.
Next question. Best way to break up with someone?
You're amazing, but I'm turned off by that.
I remember an ex-girlfriend of mine that I broke up with. She was moaning because she says some shops, there's a conspiracy. And she said to me at one point, she went, why am I a size 10 in that shop, but I'm a size 12 in that shop? I said, well, because there's a McDonald's in the middle, wasn't there?
And you broke up because of that?
And we broke up over the Big Mac. Not over it, like, give it me, you fat bitch.
You could probably get a pretty clean slate just from, like, a well-faked death.
What would happen if you bumped into them again?
I didn't think about it that far, Jason.
She just told you she was dead. Move on.
A friend of mine, when his relationships were getting too serious, used to leave his herpes medication lying around.
Friend of yours, was it?
Yeah, friend of mine.
Yeah, you can laugh. I fucked him earlier.
Not you, it's me, or... It's
yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK, I'll take it then.
Yes, the best way to break up with someone is to blame yourself. I couldn't find the words to break up with my last girlfriend. There was nothing in the phrase book. In the end, I went with me not love you long time. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Kelvin and Alan have 2 points. Jason, Sarah and Steve are the winners with 9 points. Did you know, for example, 55% of people think being associated with charity work makes you seem more attractive, which explains why Pudsey Bear gets all that poontang. The oldest paper boy in Britain is Bernard Davies from Brighton. He's 90 years old. Sorry, we just had an update. The oldest paper boy in Britain is Gavin Henderson from Sunderland. He's 12. Right, let's get started. The nation have been talking about over the last week?
Olympics, innit? The winter ones?
The winter ones, yeah. Yeah, if you like things sliding down a hill, you are in luck.
I saw a sport where they ski for a bit, lie down, shoot, out of a gun, out of a backpack, put it back on and then ski off again.
That's the opening of a Bond film you were watching.
Well, how's that a sport? And where'd you get the equipment? I've not seen any of that in JD Sports.
Someone's got a banana over there.
There is a banana over there. We've got to see the banana.
Can you peel, did you say you could peel a banana with your feet?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, come on, we've got to see
that. We've got to see that.
Throw him in the banana, just throw it in. Oh, that would have been spectacular.
I need to be sitting down, really.
You need to...
Well, can't sit down here on the front.
Oh,
God, sit on the front there, like a little monkey boy.
I'm not a performing monkey.
You're not a performing... When you say you're not a performing monkey, sit down and peel that banana. If this isn't entertainment, I don't know what is. This is... Are you supple enough to eat this without using your hands?
Jim, do you want some banana, mate?
Yeah, no, lovely, yeah. How weird's this game? Happy Henning's 40th birthday today.
Thank you very much, thank you. Thank you very much.
Henning, we've organised, and because it's your birthday and you've chosen to spend it with us, we've organised a little party. Well, not a party, but sort of a rally for you. Henning Vane, everyone, happy birthday. Look at that.
I can't bloody lift mine up, can I?
You can't. Oh, no, you can't.
Get a straw, will you?
Can we get a straw for... Get a straw for Alex?
I'm just messing with you.
Thank you.
It's a miracle.
Why do you have these big cups? I find it odd enough to look masculine in a pub without someone have to drink like a frigging beaker.
I think you should down it, John. Why don't you try and down it?
Because I will die.
Let's down it.
Come on, John.
Go on, John.
Man
Just-
up. Come on, John. I'll be honest. Ladies and gentlemen, you started that fast clap way too soon. I would say you were a quarter of an hour early on your cue there for when to go with it. Oh, he's nearly done it.
There's always editing. They can cut out the bit.
Oh, that's true. Start again.
But keep it nice and slow.
Have a little break.
Have a little break. A lot of young people watch this show. Drink responsibly. Honestly. OK, come on. This will be the best thing he's ever done. Come on. Did you know, for example, there are 336 dimples on a regulation golf ball, which is why they're so adorable? The biggest participation sport in the world is fishing. Of course, a lot of the participants are fish, and they're not happy about it. Right, let's get started. Sean, Johnny and Gabby, what else have the nation been talking about?
We're going to go, I think, a slightly different route, shall we, Sean?
Yes, go on, Gabby.
Well, it's coming up to the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, and Torvill and Dean, possibly the greatest Winter Olympic moment for Great Britain
And
ever.
also strictly ice dance, whatever that crap is. That's got people interested in ice skating again. They've been showing
They think about it.
Yes.
It's in their head.
They're very lucky. Most ice skaters, you can be the best in the world at ice skating. There's no money in it. You could be the world champion, but in 6 months' time, you'll be going backwards at the NEC in a goofy costume like that guy. There's no money in it at all. And I don't understand why there's no sponsorship. You notice they never have sponsorship on their costumes. And I think it'd be good if they had it on their gusset. You know when they lift them up? And you lift it up, and the gusset just said, like, Subway.
OK, let's see if Torvill and Dean is one of the most memorable sporting events. Come on. Yes, incredibly, Torvill and Dean is the nation's most memorable sporting event. It's surprising, but it was watched by 24 million people. I'm not knocking ice dancing. I just think if it's going to be Olympic sport, we should also include ballroom dancing, teabagging and bin finger. Fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to get. OK, Sean.
Is it where Colchester got that draw with
Ronnie
in the Freight Rover Trophy in '83, and there was 60 minutes left on the clock, and they managed to pull one back, and that was fine. They managed to hold on right to the very end of the game. Is it when Mike Tyson he took a bite out of Evander Holyfield's ear? I think that would be top actually, because that was the most shocking thing I've ever seen in.
I interviewed Evander Holyfield, and he said, and he said that he had no idea.
What?
He said,
what are you saying?
No, this one.
He said he had no idea that he'd bitten his ear off. Somebody had to tell him. Don't just go over and say he's bitten
So he
your
was
ear.
hitting him. He was going, "Oh, he's got an ear in his mouth. This bloke's a nutter." Let's have a look and see whether Tyson Holyfield is one of the most memorable sporting moments. Yes, in 1997, Mike Tyson was disqualified after biting Evander Holyfield's ear. That bite was probably foreplay. I'm confident if the bell hadn't rung, he'd have bummed him. Did you know, for example, 14% of women say they can always tell when they're being lied to? And that's because all women are intelligent, perceptive, intuitive, and have you lost weight? The perfect slice of toast is 14 millimetres thick and weighs 0.44 grams per square inch. And that's according to a scientist who's apparently not aware there's still no cure for cancer. And only 3% of British women are naturally blonde. And that's a survey I conducted myself on the escalators at King's Cross. Right, let's get started. John, Rick, Ellen, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, over here on Team Cool, I imagine we've all been glued to the Tory party conference.
Woo! Yeah.
Osborne solved the world financial meltdown. He said these problems have been caused by humans and they'll be fixed by humans, which is bullshit. It's a bit like being in a jungle going, well, this arm might have been bitten off by a tiger and I fully expect a tiger to return and sew the wound up. Bit simple, George.
I liked Jeremy Hunt's speech, the culture secretary, and he had this beautiful ballet dancer come on stage and do this dance. And at the same time, unexpectedly, Eric Pickles began to join in. And he was doing this sort of strange thing with his legs and was getting a bit sort of out of breath, but then it just turned out he was trying to get out of his chair.
Bless him. Even his own party are going at him for being fat. You just want him to, because he looks so sad. You think, just have some, he needs some lines, like old stock lines. So when Osborne took the piss out of him, going, do you know why I'm so fat? Because every time you f the economy, I have a biscuit. Woo!
Worst thing about going to a pop concert?
The music.
No, the worst thing for me about pop concerts is the miming.
Yeah, because you want to see a show, you don't want to see people going...
Get on with it! Bloody sing!
Have you been to any pop concerts, Craig?
I have. I went to Whitney Houston's pop concert.
Not the recent one?
No, darling, the one that was in Africa, her first visit there, and that was a disaster. Because she'd lost her voice.
She'd lost her voice?
Yeah.
What, was it British Airways flying her over there with her?
I hate going to pop concerts because of the toilet situation for the women, because I'm not a big advocate of pissing in cups. So I have to queue for the loos, and I used to, like, sort of push in and say, like, oh, I'm pregnant. But I don't want to push in anymore, because I heard a story about a girl who pushed in and got into a portaloo, and then the crowd kind of turned feral, and they pushed the portaloo over with her in it. And I don't know if that's an urban legend, but I don't want to risk it.
That makes me proud to be British. You know, the Tory party conference, when they talk about the British spirit and what it is to be British and coming together as a community, that is the example they should have used. She pushed in the queue, did she? Well, she could be covered in poo. Good on them.
I tell you what I always find weird at when you go to see a band these days is they have that gap, don't they, between the stage and the audience. And they have those stewards there, these massive, great big blokes in polo shirts, and they're not seeing the band. They're staring at the audience. And the idea of trying to have a good time with this 18-stone Glaswegian just staring at them. And he's obviously got a court appearance on Monday. If you're trying to have fun, if you're in your living room trying to have fun and there's just a big bloke staring at you going, "You having fun, are you, son?" They're all from Glasgow, aren't they, those fellas?
Yeah, and they're always lifting people out as well. I always think that's... Is there someone in from Glasgow now? Hello? OK, well, there's an AA meeting just up the road. Anything else is the worst thing about going to a pop concert?
The crowds, darling, the crowds.
It's to do with the crowds. It's a very specific thing about...
When there's a very tall person standing in front of you.
That is exactly the right answer. Yes, the worst thing about going to a pop concert is standing behind a tall person, especially if you've gone to see Jedward, because if you're standing behind someone really tall, they could block your shot, and you have to kill them both. Did you know, for example, 1 in 10 Europeans is now conceived on an IKEA bed, and for similar reasons, I'm no longer welcome at the Croydon branch of DFS. 26% of New Yorkers have herpes. If you can catch it there, you can catch it anywhere. And 62% of people think that being single gives them the chance to be more spontaneous. I've got no plans tonight, so should I sob myself to sleep or comfort eat? Let's get started. Sean, Tara, Doug, what have the nation been talking about?
George Michael. Hooray!
He was on crack.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, that's
fair enough. Tara, let's not people in glass houses. Start throwing stones. You think he's got a problem?
Yeah, I clearly think he's got a problem. But I like George Michael. I'm a big fan. I like his music, but I do think he does have a problem because he's on crack. He's caught in Hampstead Heath. I mean, how long have you got?
How dare he think he owns his own body and can do whatever he wants with it? How dare he? I don't understand why people that get in positions like that apologize. He's apologizing to his public as though he has any responsibility to...
Why is he apologising? Well, it does seem a bit odd, because most of the best music that's ever been created has been done on drugs.
Yeah, but not on drugs in toilets.
One of his fans has said he's done it because he's been on tour, now he's not on tour, and it's empty, he's got nothing to do. But I thought, when my granddad retired, he didn't start bumming and taking crack in toilets.
I think one of the reasons about the toilets, public toilets, there's a lot of tension in public toilets, especially men's urinals. If you're standing at your urinal with 5 or 6 other men, it's a very tense environment.
Yeah,
All you have to do is just do, like, a little shimmy, and it causes blind panic. People go, Jesus Christ! What's going on? What are you up to? They are very tense places, and there's also that I think he gets ideas. You know that nonchalant whistling they have in toilets? Where if you're in a toilet, you hear someone going...
What does that mean?
And it's really worrying when it stops. That's where I reckon he got the idea for the sax solo in Careless Whisper.
But they are disgusting as well. Bloke's toilet, basically, somebody went in about 15 years ago, got their cock out, started pissing and spinning round. And every so often a member of staff goes in, signs the name on a wall and then walks back out again.
My favourite one is there's one on the A1 in the services, and it says on the outside of the toilet sort of thing, it says, these facilities are checked weekly. Like, if you don't care, don't check them. Yeah, we check weekly. They open the door and go, that's a shithole. Job done.
I went to Knutsford Services and it said this toilet will be cleaned again in 26 minutes. There's a big countdown display. And I thought, I got to tell you, I like watching the toilets getting cleaned as much as you do, but I'm not waiting 26 minutes. 20 minutes is the absolute cut-off for me. So I know what I'll do. I'll have half a shit here. Push on and try and catch the cleaners in Kiel. That's what I thought.
Right, let's have a look and see whether George Michael is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that George Michael has been arrested in a public lavatory again. George Michael does practice safe sex. He keeps one foot up against the cubicle door. Jason, Ulrika, Rod, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think it's got to be David Blaine. He's supposed to be a magician, and his latest trick is hanging upside down for 60 hours. You're like, that's not a trick, is it? What happened to proper magic? When you see a magician, you want to go, I wonder how he did that. Not, what a prick.
Let's have a look at a picture of the little fella in action. There he is. That's him upside down.
I used to hate David Copperfield till he came along. Now I quite miss the spangly blow-dried ponce. His formula of magic, whatever he does, seems to be really awkward, plus time, plus catheter. They're all about things where he can't really go for a piss.
How does the catheter work going up? Is there a nurse in the house?
Because George Michael's on the other end sucking it.
I met him once, actually.
Oh, go on, what did you think?
Yeah, and I really did believe he was magic in the beginning. And so then he said, can I take your number? And I went, well, that's fine. He goes, I'll remember it, just give it to me. And I went, 0783. He goes, can I just borrow a pen? So he clearly is not magic at all.
But that's what's annoying about his endurance tricks. They've got progressively worse and less impressive.
The first one was good when he stood up on...
You know, so he's done that. He stood on a pole for a long time, right? He was in some ice, right? He was in some ice. That was pretty impressive. And then gradually, you know, now he's like, I'm hanging upside down for a couple of days, and every so often I'm going to have a bit of a rest. And I expect his next one's just going to be, for my next trick, I'm going to put some fruit pastels in my mouth, and I'm not going to chew.
Jason, have you spent the first 2 minutes of the show writing with a biro?
Look at it. That is so funny.
Right, let's have a look and see whether David Blaine is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of David Blaine hanging upside down for 60 hours. David Blaine is hanging upside down with only electromagnetic boots holding him up. Let's hope there's not a power cut, or we won't be able to watch him fall to his death. OK, Sean, back over to you. What else do you think the nation should be talking about?
Golf.
Golf. What about golf?
Ryder Cup. Actually, Europe lost the Ryder Cup to America. I think the weird thing about it is the BBC say, and the Ryder Cup is on Radio 5 Live. And you think, no, it's not. It's on Sky Sports, the Ryder Cup. Listening to golf on the radio has got to be the most pointless experience known to man. If you were a mole at the course, you'd have a better idea of what's going on. You'd just say, like, oh, I think it might be in. You listen to it, you go, he's knocked it quite near the hole, and it's a bit nearer, and now it's in. That's it. It's just the most pointless thing. It's better off just listening to central heating. Use of your time. And that's all the BBC's got.
Did you watch any of the golf?
I hate golf. That's not true.
Why'd you say it then?
You are like a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
I know.
I hate golf. Aha, or do I?
The big story in the Ryder Cup was Sandwich-gate. They called it Sandwich-gate, which was Nick Faldo got in trouble because he was holding a piece of paper with all the names of the golfers on and how they were going to play and how they were going to line up against the Americans. And someone took a picture of it, and afterwards he went, no, that was the sandwich order. That was a sandwich order for dinner. That wasn't anything tactical. It was a sandwich order. Like, Nick Faldo, the millionaire golfer, is also doing the catering for the tour. Like, you're halfway through, but Nick, get us an ham and pickle. All right, mate.
Have you ever played golf?
I have tried to play golf.
You've tried to play it?
Yeah, but I always break windows because I practice at home, and it always...
You always break windows? Yeah, you should practice outside, I think, is one of the key things.
No, I play outside, but it's
towards the
big
house.
house.
You golf
Jimmy.
overhand?
No, the next one's in Wales, isn't it? Next...
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ryder Cup. Newport.
Newport?
Yeah. Beautiful place?
No. Let's have a look and see if the golf was one of the most talked about things this week. I don't know much about golf, Nick Faldo, but if you can't get your players to chip a ball through a windmill and into a clown's mouth, you don't deserve to win. OK, Jason, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Well, the front page of the papers were all about Gordon Brown having a kiss off his wife, and all the headlines in all the papers were kiss of life.
Kiss of wife.
Kiss of wife, of course. And stand by your man, that was another headline. Apart from the Daily Star, which headline was Robbie Williams in gorilla suit.
No, I thought it was quite interesting. It's incredibly well received, his speech today. And I thought there's a danger that Gordon Brown will think everything's going to be fine now, but I don't think that's the case. Because there's nothing that's going to save Gordon Brown. If he was assassinated, it wouldn't help him.
It's kind of like...
He could walk in with, like, Bin Laden on a lead, barking like a dog. Too late, mate. Too late. You haven't done enough.
Ulrika, do you support Labour? Do you like Gordon Brown?
He's like a bridesmaid who's really probably not meant to have ever been a bride.
If you're watching Spinsters, hi!
I did really quite fancy him when I met him.
Yeah. You know...
I did.
Oh, literally, I will be going... Oh.
Yeah, but I did screw Sven and Eriksson too, so that is slightly... Allegedly.
What do you mean, allegedly? You just said it. You can only really do that about other people. Let's see if Gordon Brown is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, it was the Labour Party conference this week. To stabilise the economy, Brown promised tighter financial regulations, and so long as he manages to implement them, by April of last year, we'll all be fine. Ruth Kelly has resigned as Transport Secretary in order to spend more time with her family. It's bad news for Gordon Brown, and terrible news for her family. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it this thing about apparently 1 in £50 coins is a fake, and you can tell if they're frayed at the edges and it's not very good, you know, not very good quality.
Spin.
Not very good. Sorry, what are you doing there? Scratch
very good
cards?
quality.
I'm not from the north, so I don't do the scratch cards.
Yes, you are. They said you can tell that these pound coins are false is because you can test them in vending machines, that reliable piece of equipment, a vending machine, right? And I thought, when I've done that, you have done that thing, haven't you, when you put £1 in for a can of Coke or something and it's come back out and you do, then the next bit you, like, give it a little, make it wet, like, lick it a little bit and then put it back in, see if that works. And then I always do this last one where I try and take the vending machine by surprise. Where I just sort of hold it there just for a second and then just sort of go, is that Johnny Depp? Vending machine.
I can tell you that fake pound coins was not one of the most talked about things this week. But yes, this is the story that there are 30 million fake £1 coins in circulation. You can tell they're fake because if you look really closely, the Queen is Helen Mirren. One more thing to get things on buzzers.
Stonehenge?
Stonehenge.
Tara, I don't want to be niggly about the rules, but if someone else says it first, and then you say it directly afterwards...
You said it, Tara, though, like it was a trigger word for an assassin.
So, Ulrika.
They've been spending a long time trying to decipher what actually went on at Stonehenge, and it turns out that it was a place of healing, potentially. It's a bit like a sort of A&E department.
You're right, they said it was hospital because a lot of the people that they found buried there had died from things like illness.
I want to hear what Tara's got to say, because you did say Stonehenge with such gusto.
I live near Stonehenge. Yeah, it is a place of well-being. Quick spliff, sunset. I always thought it was quite cool.
OK, let's have a look and see if Stonehenge is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Stonehenge used to be an ancient hospital. We know this because some of the patients from then are still on the waiting list. You can find out more about this story by watching Time Team, if there's absolutely nothing else on. Did you know, for example, women spend an average of 49 hours planning how they'll look on Christmas Day? What, overheated, drunk and crying? Over Christmas, 90% of British families put up a Christmas tree and 10% put down a dog. And 30% of office workers admit to seeing a colleague engaged in a romantic activity at a Christmas party. That is, if you consider photocopying your boobs a romantic activity. Which I do, so keep sending them in. Right, let's get started. John, if it's Christmas, I got you a little Christmas present.
That's nice.
I got you that. I thought you'd like it.
Oh, you've written my name on it as well. You've remembered I don't have an H in it. More than most of my family do.
Some of this. It's a remote control mop because I know you like being tidy. So if you just put that, on the top there, and then I've got the remotes on. So just the one on the left.
That's amazing.
You can clean around the place. Oh! That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Don't worry about that.
Put it on the circle. Put it on the circle.
Put it in the middle. Perfect. You could just have a little sit on the couch, have a tidy. I got you another present.
It's nice to
have you always loved mopping stuff? You are in luck, my friend. You are in luck. I've got you the greatest gift a man could ever get.
That mop makes the same noise I do. Holy shit. They look like mop slippers to me.
They're mop slippers, so if you want to put those on, you can have a little...
Oh, God.
An amazing present.
I'd have the cleanest house if only I had guests.
I wish those slippers were remote control and we could just whiz you round the side.
We'll find out in a minute.
Oh, no, they go different ways.
That is a nice little... Sean, a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned onesies on the show, and you didn't have a onesie because you couldn't decide what animal best sort of summed you up.
Yeah.
So, we got you this. I think I've nailed it.
Thanks for ruining the surprise. Oh. So, let's see what animal I could possibly be.
Pop him on.
That is amazing.
He's not real.
There's a clue.
You're a female kangaroo, Sean.
A kangarella.
All the presents are very well wrapped.
Well, it took me all afternoon.
I thought so.
I get real pleasure out of ripping it apart at the side, so you can get it into the recycling and doesn't take up quite as much space.
It's incredible what difference a onesie makes, isn't it?
I think it's really softened you.
It's very good for robberies, isn't it?
Hey, you look a right plonker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
I'm wearing the local outfit. You're on the wrong continent here.
Well, that fits in there.
If you had to get something from the fridge at home, you're wearing that relaxing on Christmas Day, presumably you would hop.
I see. What, you want me to hop with it?
Well, in an ideal world, that would be my best thing ever.
Please hop.
I just think it'd be funny.
No, I think you got the wrong animal. I think I've proved my point. It's impossible to find an animal which I am comfortable inhabiting.
I think you'd be a tortoise. Because tortoises look a little grumpy sometimes.
A tortoise? We think a tortoise would be really good for you.
What tortoise-like qualities do I possess?
Your mouth's a tortoise shape. Like if you make a salad, I bet you look like a tortoise.
Well, I feel like I've been compromised in my bedroom and everyone's seen me take off my pyjamas. Right, a real chill then. I actually felt vulnerable for a second.
I think you should show that vulnerability. I think it's adorable.
Shit presents, Jimmy.
Well, you've ruined Christmas. Let's have a look and see if Christmas presents are up there. Yes, of course. The top present children want this Christmas is a baby brother or sister. Fair enough, but you know the rules. 1 in, 1 out. 7% of people don't wear underwear. Sadly, though, it's not the 7% of people you hoped. 1 in 4 British people have never been to Wales or Scotland, and those people are known as employers. And 8% of men want to marry a teacher. I used to go out with a teacher. If I wanted to have sex, she always insisted I put my hand up first. Right, let's get started. John, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
Probably the most exciting end to a Premier League season ever. It was one of those moments where I just felt sorry for everyone who doesn't like sport, because if you like sport, it was just... I mean, I was in Morrison's car park because I was on tour, so I went and got myself a little packed lunch, and I got in the back and I pushed the seats forward and I put 5 Live on, and I just went batshit. Because I didn't think... I knew I wanted to win, because it's basically twats versus arseholes. And then, after a while of working out whether I prefer twats or arseholes, which, I mean, every man goes through at some point. I assume we all watched it?
They said it was the most thrilling finale ever. I thought the most thrilling finale ever is when you're trying to jack one out and someone's trying to put the key in the door.
Well, here's how Paul Merson reacted to the goals on Sky Sports.
In the same position again, Silva whips it in. Header! Goal! It's 2-all! And Zeko! And they run back to the halfway line trip. There's got to be 5 minutes of injury time, and it's 2-2! You know what's happened? Incredible! Oh my God! You should have never seen anything like it. It's gone mad! It's gone magic! Mancini's on the pitch! Running round! What? They're all touching each other! They got love bites and everything!
Quality! It's amazing!
Quality! Quality!
Soccer Saturday is the best entertainment. There's a guy called Chris Kamara who gets so excited, he starts as an analogy and then he just gets confused. There's a clip of him going, and the lads are fighting like beavers.
We're talking about this game, the Man City game, as being the most... It couldn't possibly be more dramatic. And I was thinking, well, it could be a bit more dramatic if, on the final whistle, once they'd won, a mysterious fog descended on the pitch. And then out of the fog came Mancini, and it turns out he was a pirate ghost. Like that. He was clutching the calcified heart of his virgin bride who was burnt by customs men 300 years ago. And Gary Neville goes, oh, my God, this is unbelievable scenes here. Mancini's a pirate ghost come to wreak revenge.
Did you watch it, Vernon?
I had to watch it because I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan, and we were in a relegation scrap with QPR, who Manchester City were playing. Tough, yeah, we got relegated.
You're back where you belong.
Why don't you come to the Reebok one day, Jimmy? Me and you.
I should go to the Reebok one day. What to buy trainers?
It's in Bolton. it's a stadium.
There was a man who walked out after 88 minutes and missed the best part of his life ever. And it makes me feel good that I think there might have been points in my life where I've left early and I just didn't find out, like my last girlfriend when she said, I don't think we should see each other anymore. If I'd have stayed, she'd have probably gone, unless we're husband and wife.
Catherine, do you follow...
No, it's boring. I get that you guys love football, and I love you for that. But I would be interested if they announced the players in a way that I could understand. Like, instead of numbers on their backs, they could be like, and now Colleen Rooney's husband, and now Alex Gerrard's husband, and the guy who cheated on Cheryl Cole, followed by that dickhead who's Harvey's father, you know? And then...
What voice are you doing? Is it a haunted house voice? Did you know, for example, 43% of women want a partner that surprises them from time to time? You're back early, darling. This is Karen. Surprise! 45% of adults try to unplug from technology at least once a week. My nan unplugged from technology recently. Well, technically, we unplugged her. And the average person will spend 35 days of their life brushing their teeth. But spare a thought for Rob Beckett. His teeth are like the Forth Bridge. As soon as he's finished, he has to start again. Right, let's get started. Rob's team.
I think people want to travel. People like travelling.
Yeah.
I don't really like travelling.
Really?
No, I like being in the place. I don't like getting there. I went to Thailand, and it was really strange because basically there's not a lot of blonde fellas in Thailand, and like people coming up to me, laughing, pointing, and rubbing my head. Like they was all laughing at me because I was different. So it was like I felt like slightly racist, but I wasn't bothered. I didn't care, but like I felt like
sorry.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
It's
Tell
tough.
me more.
It's
Tell me more.
tough,
But people actually used to do that to me, though. Like, I had a bit more hair when I was at school. People used to come up to me and go, testing, testing.
Really?
What? Yeah.
What? Where did you go to school?
A white school.
A white school?
It was a private school. It was a private, so it was
private
white.
school?
Yeah, I went to... Why are you so surprised I went to private?
You said you're from Croydon. I didn't know they had them in Croydon.
Surprise, surprise. There's a part of Croydon where they tuck away all the rich people. And
Sorry, I call bullshit on that. This private school is sounding more like a secure unit.
White people are the absolute worst, and then when the kids go on gap years and they try to help, they'll be like, oh, I'm just going to build a school. That's maybe 20 minutes of digging a hole, and then it's just drinking in the hostel. And they don't want you to be there. They don't want you there with your pale skin and loose morals. That's like if we had hookers from LA come help lend a hand in British schools.
Oh, I definitely would have gone to school.
It does make you realise travelling, though, like the white privilege. So my brother-in-law is British Indian, and we travelled together home for Christmas this year, and I'm really late to airports all of the time, and he was getting really angry with me, and I couldn't understand it, and I was like, come on, madam, like, we'll just run through the airport. And he's like, you don't understand. I'm a brown man who likes to wear mainly black clothes, and my orthopaedic backpack clutches around the front. I cannot run through an airport.
Where's the best place you've ever been?
Probably Dubai. That was quite fun.
Yeah, it'd be nice when it's finished.
It was the first time I'd ever been to, like, an amazing hotel.
And then you looked out the window and saw women with no rights, and you're like...
Yeah. I kind of...
Shut the window on that. Enjoy the spa of it,
Ola, where's the coolest place you've been? Where have you travelled?
I really liked going around Southeast Asia. I went to Malaysia. Bad thing is, I flew Malaysian Airlines.
We're lucky to have you here today.
Yeah, I know. It's really easy to make fun of an airline for losing 2 planes, but all I'd say on the issue is I've never paid so much attention to that safety video in my life. I asked them to rewind that.
Sorry,
Let me see that one again.
You flew with them after they lost 2 planes?
Yeah.
You love a bargain, don't you?
It was the bumpiest landing I've ever had in my life. He landed the plane like he didn't expect to get that far, but...
first time I went on a plane, right, we went abroad, went to Jersey.
Right, last year, yeah.
No, I was a kid, right, and I was with my granddad, and he said he used to fly planes in the war. That was his job. And then we're on the plane. He's smoking. It's where you could smoke on a plane. He's smoking. Got a whiskey, and he's all getting a bit jittery. Hang on, Granddad, why are you nervous? You used to fly a plane in the war, didn't you? And I was fucking lying, weren't I?
All right, well, shall we have a look and see if travelling the world is up there? Yes, it's travelling the world. More and more OAPs are taking gap years. Bad enough not remembering why you went into the living room, but Cambodia, what did I come in here for? Meerkats are able to recognise each other by voice alone. How do they manage it? Well, it's complicated. And 43% of people say they've made love in a car. I know I have. I'll tell you what, if my car could talk, I'd be David Hasselhoff. Right, let's get started. OK, Sean, what do you think the nation will be talking about this week?
Well, there's the Britain's Got Talent, which you used to do, didn't you? Did you,
yeah.
you did it over here, didn't you?
I did it over here.
Britain's Got Talent's mainly made here, Sean.
You know what I meant, bloody Mr. Logic.
Yeah? What's the American one called?
What's the American one called?
America's Got Talent.
I knew it!
Yeah.
Well, you were great on the show.
Yeah, oh, thanks. I had a hard time understanding everyone, but I got to tour the country and,
Well, you ended up going out with a lovely Welsh girl as well, yeah?
Yeah, my girlfriend is from Gleneath, and the weather is, weather's tough over there. The weather's tough everywhere. You have 2 winters over here. I mean, you have 2 summers. It's like you have winter and July.
Yeah, that's why the buttons on our shirt go all the way up to the top. Right, fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to get.
The coalition and, like, local elections and all that lot.
Anything that gets relaunched is doomed. So they've relaunched the coalition this week, and the next thing is they'll rename it. It'll be like, it's not the coalition anymore. Now we are Democratas.
Yeah, they've relaunched the coalition. But you know, keep relaunching something. I mean, you can relaunch it. You could relaunch puke as street pizza, couldn't you? It doesn't mean anything. And you see, Cameron was in that tractor factory in Basildon, and the best thing about it was he was doing this speech, and there's they've stopped the production line, and there's all these fellas who work in the factory standing around watching them. You can see in their eyes they're thinking, this doesn't count as a tea break, does it?
Well, I don't know who to vote for, because I'm like, I've got a working class background, but my girlfriend's very middle class. She used to be upper class, but we're together now.
You're dragging her down, boy.
Her sister's got a boyfriend called Rupert. Rupert! I'm not having a go, it's a decent name, but I never thought I'd meet one.
The best way they could have re-established support in the nation this week is, like, slip a load of song lyrics into the Queen's speech. Because she doesn't write it, she just reads it. She'd have to go, I know for my people, money's too tight to mention. But, and it's a big but, I like big butts, and I can't... People don't, do you know what? They're all right, these guys, they're all right.
Did you used to do that in exams?
Absolutely, yeah.
We used to do that in all our exams at college, like try and work lyrics and quotes from films into the thing.
It's quite hard to do with maths exams, though.
All right, Rain Man. Have you met David Cameron?
I did. I went to the Parliament, and I had a, I just wanted to see it, and met David Cameron. But who's Nick Clegg?
That is what David Cameron asked you. Right, let's see if it's up there. Yes, David Cameron and Nick Clegg relaunched the coalition this week. David Cameron attempted some political spin by claiming what you call austerity is what I might call efficiency. Sure, and what you call a government is what we might call a fucking shambles. Did you know, for example, 47% of people think their partner isn't interested in hearing about their day? Correct. 75% of Americans do a big weekly food shop every day. And only 29% of women reach orgasm every time they have sex. I've got a tip for those women, or if they like, I could put the whole thing in. Right, let's get started. John's team, what do you think the nation will be talking about this year?
It must be the Wimbledon final.
Oh, exciting. No.
No? No?
Tennis.
What's the matter with tennis?
Well, I'll be dead honest with you. I used to play the third most boring sport known to man. Cricket, only trumped by tennis and Formula 1.
Do you not like cricket?
It was a means to an end.
I thought it was an incredible thing. A British man won for the first time in 77 years.
And he hasn't won it since, Jimmy. Let's not let him off. This country hasn't had a Wimbledon winner for nearly 6 months now, and I've had enough. The sad thing, it's a boring name, Andy Murray, as well, isn't it? If his name was, like, Dick Gobbler or something, then... At least now in 50 years, when Sue Barker goes, and of course Britain hasn't had a Wimbledon men's champion since Dick Gobbler. Just going to keep hearing Andy Murray all the time.
It was weird that this whole talk about 77 years of wait is over. And actually, when he won, it was like, thought I'd feel better than that. To me, nothing really can trump that dressage gold at the Olympics.
Lorraine, you're Scottish, so presumably
I am
Andy...
well spotted.
Well, you're not like full-on Scottish. You're like
Just a wee tiny bit.
I can understand what you're saying. You're Scottish light.
OK, I'm
Now, did it mean a lot to you? That
Oh,
Andy...
absolutely. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I think it's a shame that everybody goes on about him being dour.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's Scottish. I mean, you know...
He spread sunshine everywhere, didn't he?
I remember he cried. Remember he cried when he lost, and then we quite liked him because he cried. Like, no?
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I mean, the reason I don't like tennis is because I'm left-handed, and you can't play if you're left-handed. So
you can.
You can't play tennis.
You can.
You can't play tennis with your left hand.
Yes, you can. You can do whatever you like.
There's no left-handed tennis players.
There is.
Other than Nadal?
There's no.
He's all right. That's his greatest trick, is making us think he's using his left hand. if you hit the ball, if you tennis ball, if you've got the right hand, you hit it, it goes that way. But if you've got your left hand, you hit it, it goes behind you. So I have to play backwards like that. There's someone shouting me where the ball's coming. That's why I gave up. This is a stupid game. I'm with Freddie on this.
Let's have a look and see if it's up there. Of course it is. Yes, in July, Andy Murray won Wimbledon for the first time. Sue Barker presented Murray with the trophy 77 years after she presented it to Fred Perry. All across Scotland, people stopped what they were doing to watch the historic match. They paused Braveheart, put down their crack pipes, turned off the proclaimers and finished... and finished frantically searching between their toes for a viable vein to salute Murray's amazing victory. Did you know, for example, 25% of couples say they experiment in the bedroom? We do. Last week, we put the chest of drawers next to the window and the cupboard over by the shoe rack. Like to keep it fresh. 35% of single women worry they've missed the boat by holding out for Mr. Perfect. Don't worry, ladies, you can have Mr. Perfect if that's what you call one of your many cats. And 1 in 10 people would rather meet a date online first. If you think chatting online lets you get to know the real person before a date, you've clearly never turned up at an amusement arcade clutching a bunch of balloons, only to discover you've been chatting to an undercover child protection officer, who fortunately was a big fan of the show, so it all turned out OK. Right, let's get started. Sean's team, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
Yeah, European Championships. I reckon they're talking about that. I mean, a lot of people are talking about that.
It's quieter than normal, though. It's not as much. I reckon everyone's getting ready for the Olympics.
Everyone's waiting for the racism to kick off. That's why it's quiet, because there's been so much lead up to it that the fact that it's having... It's like if you had a party and you had a massive balloon and you just held a pin next to it like that, and you went, how's the party? Is everyone enjoying the party? Everyone would really be thinking, when are you going to burst that fucking balloon? Because I'm going to cry when that happens.
How scared are you of a balloon bursting?
You're telling me you don't have an ounce of fear when someone's blowing a balloon and they get to that point where the colours started to fade and it's too big, and you want to say to him, it's big enough, stop!
John, that's when I hold my eyelids open and walk right up to the balloon.
The only time I've got interest in football is when Peter Crouch and David Beckham are playing, and basically...
Such a weird mix.
That famous heartthrob, Peter Crouch.
I love it.
Well, David...
That dance he does.
That dance he does?
That's not it.
You're the only person.
You're thinking of dressage.
I love Spurs, that's who I support.
Right.
And they're not playing, are they, in the Euros?
They're not playing in the Euros, no.
As a Spurs fan, you'll know that the Spurs manager left this week. His name was...
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho. He's got quite a Cockney accent now. He's really picked up English, Jose Mourinho.
Oh, is it Harry Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp.
That's it. I love Harry. I love Harry.
You know what I didn't like about the match against France was it started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I have to watch it with my kids, which ruins it, because they just ask loads and loads of questions. So it starts off, they go, who's in the white shirts? You go, that's England. Oh, we live in England, don't we? Yes. Who's in the blue shirts? That's France. Why is he wearing yellow? He's the referee. What does he do? He tells all the rules. What are the rules? You can't pick the ball up. Why is that man picking the ball up? He's the England goalkeeper. England? Why is he wearing green? You go, oh. In the end, I just recorded it and put Happy Feet on and got my own back. You go, why is that penguin talking? They can't knit scarves.
A new player that I didn't know, the 18-year-old from, is it Arsenal, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain?
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
He can actually form sentences and everything. I watched an interview with him and it was like, this is an England footballer. He's
His
really
name is a
articulate
sentence.
and he can speak. It's amazing.
Someone's got a crush.
He's got a great name, Oxlade-Chamberlain. It sounds like a fold-away bicycle, doesn't it? Yes. I commute with my Oxlade-Chamberlain and I'm ready to ride.
I think he's 18, he must be gutted.
He's 22, isn't he?
No, he's 18.
He's the youngest player apart from Rooney to play in the Euros. Is he? I think.
This guy's doing the stickers, Sean. I wouldn't question him on Euros.
Right.
Has anyone got their swaps?
You're not actually collecting the stickers, are you?
Yes.
The Panini stickers book?
Yeah, but I didn't want it to come out like this. I thought I'd at least entice a girl back to my bedroom before I brought out my swaps.
How many do you need now?
How many do I need? 250 stickers and one girlfriend. Does anyone have the England shiny?
It's dreadful, the shiny. It's not the official badge because it's not licensed because we go with Merlin. But I'm not doing the stickers because I'm cool.
Weirdo alert! Are you doing the stickers
John
as well?
is doing the stickers. I've swapped with John.
You're collecting the stickers?
I am acquiring stickers.
I can't believe you two are collecting You're grown men!
Me and Josh were together in Greenwich last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we went on the hunt for stickers.
Do they have any stats on, or is it just the pictures of the blokes?
Oh, now she's interested.
I've got an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain that...
Oh, I need that. I've got Theo Walcott, I'll swap you.
Oh.
This may be the most tragic thing I've ever heard.
It's pretty much what the newsagent said when I said you're doing the stickers, and he just looked at both of us and went, no.
I hope you enjoyed those clips. If you want to watch full episodes of 8 out of 10 Cats, then you can on my YouTube channel. Just, search for it on YouTube and you'll find it, because it's there.